Hey guys, Morgan's Maintenance. Today is going to be a how-to video. I have a customer who's having an issue with their Delta shower valve, constantly dripping. I will put a close-up of that here. And they are getting their tub refinished on Monday. So in order for them to be able to finish this tub, they obviously can't have water dripping on it. And this water dripping is what has actually caused the issue. That's been the problem with it anyways. Pretty simple fix. Most of the time it's a pretty simple fix. I'm going to walk you through the process because I feel like it's something that a homeowner might want to tackle and take on in order to keep this from happening. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, show you how to change it, and hopefully that helps you out. So first, before we do anything, we're going to shut the water off so that way we know that whenever we take this apart, we're not going to have a lot of water coming out. I can't stress the importance of that. You do not want to tackle this without turning the water off. And whether you can turn off the water to just your shower unit or if you need to go outside and shut it off, you basically have to make sure that you have no water coming to this valve. We're going to start out by removing the set screw to remove the handle. You can see a hole right back in here. Takes an 1/8 inch Allen key. You stick that in there, get it broke free, loosen that set screw inside of there. Then the handle should just pull off like so. Next, we're going to remove the escutcheon. You should be able to just grab a hold of it, pull it straight out. It should come out just like that. And depending upon how far out your valve sticks from the wall, sometimes you have to take this cover off, sometimes you don't. I'm going to have to take this off so I can get access to this nut. So I'm going to go ahead and take out these 2 screws. Next step is to remove this nut. So we're going to take something like a pair of tongue and groove pliers, water pump pliers. These are Knipex Cobras. You want to grab a hold of the nut and go counterclockwise, and you want to kind of feel it out. If it's extremely tight, you're going to want to put something back here on the back side to hold back on it, but this one's actually kind of loose, which is what it should be. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen that up, spin this off. Should come out like that. That nut and then this step is typically the hardest part of this whole process, and it is getting this out. Sometimes it's wedged in there pretty good, sometimes it's not. Sometimes they will just pull right out, but you're just going to grab a hold, keep wiggling. Until you get it out like that. Here's where I normally will inspect right in here just for curiosity's sake. I can see the little pebbles inside of there. That's likely to be what the issue is. There's been some sediment get inside of this cartridge. It's allowing it to not shut off when you turn the water off. The other thing that you want to check is to make sure everything in here is cleaned out. There's no little pebbles or anything in here, so that when you stick a new cartridge in, you end up getting the same issue right off the bat. So now we've got this out. Next, we're going to change the cartridge. There are several cartridges that Delta provides. These are the main 2. This one is the RP19804. You can see it's blue on that end. This one is the RP46074, white on that end. What I normally do is I buy one of both whenever I'm going to a customer's house, and then that way I can figure out which one it is. You can see on this one here, 46074 kind of stamped on it right there. And if I compare it, it's the same length. All those things are the same, so this is the cartridge that we need. You'll notice that the cartridge has an H. That is for the hot side. That's always going to be the left side unless your shower's plumbed incorrectly. And you also got these little indentions right here, along with indentions on the valve itself. So that's how all that lines up. We're going to slide that in place. Once you get it pushed in all the way, we're then going to take that nut, spin that back on. I like to get it just hand tightened. This one's got a little bit of grease on it, so it's going to be slippery. I'm going to get it as tight as I can with my hand. And then I'm going to take my pliers again, grab a hold of it, and just snug it up. You don't want to crazy tighten this. You just want to get it snug. You'll feel it get snug. That's where you kind of stop. So now's when I like to go turn the water on for a couple reasons. One is I can check for leaks right here at this nut while this is open, and then also I can test it to make sure I don't have a drip, and all those kinds of things before I get it all assembled back together, and then I've got to take it all back apart. So I'm going to go turn the water on. So now that I've got the water back on, I'm going to check for leaks, more so right there at that nut area. That's the one spot where you're going to have a leak. And then also I'm going to check for drippage. I'm going to turn the water on. I'm going to take the handle, slide it on. Turn that off, allow time for the water that's in the pipe going to the tub spout. You're going to get some drips for just a little while, but then after that we should end up being drip free. You can see now I'm at least not getting the constant drip like the steady drip of what I had before. All these small drips that are coming out now are just what's left in the pipe, but it should stop like that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this O-ring back to the front area, take the escutcheon, slide it over the top of all that, slide it back to the back. Now we're going to take our cover, slide that back over the top as well. See if we can get these screw holes lined up and get the screw started. Sometimes this is a little bit tedious. You just got to kind of feel around. You should be able to kind of line this up, and it should line up. That one's in place. We've got both started. Before we put the handle on, if you want to adjust the temperature, this would be the time to do it. You can maybe see on here if I can get it zoomed in enough. Hotter, counterclockwise, colder clockwise. You pull out on this white piece and turn it to the left or right if you want that max temperature to be a little bit hotter or a little bit cooler. And what this adjusts is that handle. Once you put it to the farthest hot position, this is the temperature that you're adjusting there. So you would want to do that to whatever setting that you prefer. Once you have the temperature set to what you'd like, go ahead and take that handle, slide it on top. Take the Allen key we used at the very beginning, and we're going to tighten that set screw back. Make sure you get it nice and snug. Give it a pull, make sure it stays on. But yeah guys, as you can see, it was a pretty easy fix. We are drip free. It's basically pulling out a part, replacing it with another part. It's not pulling out a part, fixing that part and putting it back in. And that's why I feel like most homeowners should be able to tackle this job. Definitely the main thing is make sure that you turn off the water. If you don't turn off the water, when you loosen that nut and pull on that cartridge, you're going to have water going everywhere, and it's a lot all at one time. So make sure you do that. The second tip would be to make sure to go ahead and buy both cartridges, because it's hard to know which one you're going to need unless you know the exact model number of your shower valve. But I go ahead and buy both. That way I've got them to compare whenever I pull out this cartridge, put in the right one, take the other one back to the store. I think that that's a good way to go with that. But hope it was helpful in some way. Hope it was useful. As always, you guys stay safe. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on the next video.